Hello, sorry. I'm having some technical difficulties. But we're working on it. So give me a second here. Just gotta get my headphones handled. How are we doing tonight? There we go. That's already better. Okay. Now give me just a moment. I gotta add something really quick. Sorry, give me just a second here. Something didn't load the way it was supposed to, so I have to add it really quick. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the logo did not make it somehow. I don't know what happened there, so I'm just gonna fix that real quick here. I think that looks good. That'll do. That will do. Okay. Whew. That was fun. How are we doing? How's it going? How is it going? So again, it's going to be a little weird because my camera's here, but the chat is there. So if I look over at the wrong time, you will know why. This is really good music here. Liking this. Okay. Let's get a picture for the gram here. 'Tis time. Okay. Plus, I wanted to pick up the questions that some of you had. All right. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, go. Actually, I'll come back to the questions. Okay. So first things first, let's talk about this. I have a new background. This is it's a tapestry, and I got it off of Amazon because I liked it. And it's a witchy background, which works. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so last time I just did like random things, and so tonight I wanted to be a little more purposeful with it, a little more purposeful, but also like just chatting, keeping it super super casual. So I had brought some books with me to talk about, some that I really liked, some that I just read, some that I read a long time ago. But I thought I would bring them. So the first one that I wanted to talk about has to do with this lovely unicorn right over here. So here we go. This. It's hard to do when it's this way. So this, my friend Rafa Seal on Twitch, but also Dealey Spears on Instagram, she drew this lovely little unicorn for me as my kind of mascot for the channel. This is Amalia, which is a play off of the name Amalfia, which is the name of the last unicorn in the Last Unicorn book and movie, but since I am the second to last, it's a play off of the name. So anyway, Amalia is very loosely based and just kind of like chill from The Last Unicorn, which is one of my favorite all-time cartoon movies. I think it was in the 80s when it was done, but it's so good. It's so good. If you don't know the story of The Last Unicorn, it's kind of like a cult classic. Not quite Labyrinth level, but kinda. The unicorn is in her forest and has no idea that she's the last until a hunter comes through her forest and is saying, you know, why is it always spring in this forest? It's never, the seasons never change here. We can never find game to hunt for. Like, what the heck? And the guy's like, oh, that's because there's a unicorn in this forest. And he's like, what? There's no unicorns anymore. And he's like, well, there's at least one left, and she's here. So, and she's like, how can I be the last? There's no way. So it's her journey to find the rest of her people. And there's a magician and outlaws and a prince and all kinds of fantastical journeys and elements, and I love it. I just absolutely loved it. Because I watched the movie first as a child, I had no idea it was a book, and then I saw the book when I was older, read it, loved it. I think it's fantastic. So this is Amalia, sister, cousin, friend, whatever, to Amalfia from The Last Unicorn. And there you have it. And that is the story of the unicorn. Oh my gosh, is that like glare really bad? Oh, it is kind of bad. Oh no. I was hoping it would be better than the ring light, but I am blind without my glasses. So sorry, y'all. You're gonna have to like deal with the glare. Oh, I'm sorry. Because I don't think the ring light's gonna be any better. So we're just gonna stick with it. We're gonna stick with it and just be good. We're just gonna do it. So my husband, I am not a sci-fi reader. I am a fantasy reader. That is what I enjoy. I enjoy fantasy. I enjoy historical fiction, classic literature. Sci-fi is not really my thing unless it has like fantastical elements to it. It's just, I don't like the science part. I can't always visualize what it is that they're saying. But so he really enjoys Brandon Sanderson, who is a very sci-fi dude. But he did write a couple books that I really liked. One of them that I absolutely love. The other one, I like it a lot. I like it better than the Mistborn books. Don't come at me. I've read all the Mistborn books because Hubster wanted someone to talk to about them, but they're not really my favorite. But I did read these. So Elantris, and this, I think it's a standalone, but with Brandon Sanderson, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what's standalone. I don't know what's a series. I don't think he knows half the time when he writes them, because half the time he's like, oh yeah, I'm totally done. And then he'll come out with a book 2 years later that goes with it. That's a sequel. And it's like, oh, just kidding. My bad. I'm like, are you serious right now, bro? So I think at the moment this is a standalone, but there could be a sequel coming. But Elantris, there's so much that goes on in this book. I mean, look at this. It's pretty thick. Like, it's a pretty thick book. But it's really good. I enjoyed this because I really like Serene, who is the princess that you actually see in this picture. There she is. That's Serene. And she's supposed to marry Raoden, I think is how you say his name. I really don't know, and I probably should, but I don't. And there's this, like, not curse, but kind of curse that's in the kingdom. And anyway, it's this whole thing. But I really enjoyed this one because it's not super scientific. It's not, like, it's a system, but it's not a complex system of how the magic works. It's just, this is how it works. So I enjoyed the straightforwardness of that one. But my absolute favorite one that he wrote, that I always recommend to people, I'm always recommending this to people, is Warbreaker. This one, this one's my favorite. So it's either Ciri or Vivenna. We're not really sure which sister this is. This is one of the royal sisters in the story, and this right here is her breath coming out. But in this book, breath is how you are able to perform magic, but it's not magic. That's not what they specifically say it's not magic. But it's kind of like some of them believe that it's your soul, some of them don't, but you can barter with it. There are gods in the city that this takes place in Titular, whatever, that every week they have to take someone's breath to stay alive. And the God King, who rules over all of the gods, has hundreds of thousands of breaths, and like it's passed down to all of his posterity, I suppose. But he's only allowed to have one kid at a time, and when his kid is born, then he has to like die or something, but no one really knows why. Ciri marries the God King in her sister's place because the king of her dad was like, I can't send Vivenna there. I can't do it, even though he prepared Vivenna for this for her whole life. So now she's having an identity crisis. Ciri's having an identity crisis, but in a brand new city where she has no idea what she's doing. But it's so good. Like it's got this complex character building, lots of twists that I didn't see coming, and just some really good storytelling. So I really enjoy Wordbreaker. That's one that I always recommend to people. And I think we've actually bought this book. Actually, both Elantris and Warbreaker, I think we've bought this book at least 5 times because we will lend them out and not get them back. So it's that good. That should tell you something. Okay. And then I think I'm going to do this one next because I just read this one. I just finished reading this on Monday, maybe Tuesday, and I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but I really enjoyed it. So this is Sing Me Forgotten by Jessica Olsen. I'm pretty sure this is her debut novel, like 90% sure. Yes, it's her debut novel. It says it on the last sentence. So this is a gender-bent retelling of the Phantom of the Opera, and it is so good. I enjoyed it a lot. Isda, I'm really bad with how you pronounce things, guys. But she is the Phantom that is in the opera house, but she's a specific kind of like witch without being called a witch. It's French, so I don't know how to pronounce it. So I'm not going to try to, because that would be not a good thing. But she is a specific kind of witch, so when someone sings, she is able to both see their memories and manipulate them. So her job at the opera house is to get the patrons to feel something when they hear the performances that makes them want to come back, that makes them just want to buy season tickets or just want to come back for another performance, just something to keep the business going. And the manager of the opera house has raised her from birth, essentially, because she is not supposed to be alive. She was thrown into the bottom of a well when she was born, and so there you go. It's kind of like a Quasimodo meets Phantom of the Opera kind of deal. So Hunchback and Phantom roll together into this, but it is so good. So this picture is actually a vial of what they call elixir, and it's made of your memories. So this is your memories, kind of like the Pensive, but gold instead of silver. So, and she can extract this, and people sell it to pay off debts or whatever else. So it's, oh my word, it was so good. Talks about the music and how the music speaks to her and has helped heal her through, all of her life. So it was really good. This should definitely be on your list because it was, and I love Phantom of the Opera. I've read the original book many times, and I love Phantom of the Opera. I've seen the show, I've seen the movie. Between show and movie and books, the Broadway show gets the closest to what the book was trying to induce in you. You're supposed to be fear. It's supposed to be fear, not desire, that fuels Christine Daae. So the movie was great for those that hadn't seen the show, but it's not super true to what the story is because he's terrifying, not sexy. So just warning you straight up right now. Okay. Oh, I had a couple questions come through on Instagram when I asked, and ask me anything. The first one that wasn't bookish related was, what's your dream vacation that isn't Disney? And I giggled because I was like, I love they have to specify not Disney. because I am a very well-known and vocal Disney fan. So I love going to Disney always. I worked for the company for 5 years. 1 year of that was at Disneyland as a Disney College Program participant, which I loved, and I will praise that up and down all day as an experience and a way to grow. But a dream vacation that isn't Disney for me, I have so many. From the time I was a very little girl, I have wanted to just basically just tour Europe, just anywhere, everywhere. Eastern Europe, Western Europe, into Asia. Just, I want to visit everything. My ancestors are from England, and I know you're shocked, England and Ireland and Scotland, and so those places have always been places that I've wanted to visit. I've always felt drawn to those places, and I'm like, oh, now I know why, because I have ancestors from there. And I want to visit all of the concentration camps that are in Europe. When I was 8 years old, there was a traveling play that was going around to the elementary schools. I have no idea what the play was called. Not a clue. I don't remember. But I distinctly remember the show, and it changed me watching it. Watching it as an 8-year-old. It was like two timelines being told at the same time. One, it was Anne Frank's story, and then the other was a boy in the Nazi youth. And just the story that they were telling and the two different sides of the same story just really spoke to me. And ever since that day, I have studied and read and watched, and just World War II is a very, and like World War II and the Holocaust are very, I don't want to say pet subjects, but they're things that I really study, and I enjoy reading and learning more about. And also because it's something that we need to remember did actually happen, and we need to make sure it doesn't happen again. And it's already, history's trying to repeat itself now, and it's hard to hear that. But one of those vacations would be to go to these places that I've read about, and to mourn in those places with those souls that that I feel like I've gotten to know through these books and through these other mediums that I've met them through. So that would be something that I would really like to do. I would also love, my husband lived in Argentina for 2 years for our church. He was there as a missionary, and so he's wanted to go back to Argentina for, how long have we been married? 11 years. He's wanted to go back, and I would love to go back and see the culture there and meet the people and eat the food and like everything that's there. I would love to do that someday too. So that'll have to, all of this will have to happen post kids, and my post kids, I mean once my kids are grown and on their own, and probably post retirement, and maybe we'll have money to do that. It'll all depend. But I wanted to answer that because I thought that was such a cool question. Oftentimes I get a lot of, I like this kind of book, what should I read? And I feel kind of weird giving book. Oh, I just kicked that. I'm sorry. I feel kind of weird giving book recommendations because I have a very, not narrow, but I feel like it's kind of narrow right now of books that I like to read. Therefore, I know, oh, well, if you like that, then I can recommend, this. And I'm trying to expand it a bit. I've gotten a lot better in the last year. But I took an unexpected 9-year book hiatus. Just because I had a baby. I had my first baby 9 years ago, and after that it took over my life. So the last year, the pandemic kind of brought things into perspective. I was already getting the perspective, but then it was slam me with the perspective, right? Of that I need to do things that are mine. I need to do things for me. I need to do things that bring me joy and make me happy, as well as things that make my husband happy and my kids happy. But you can't give from an empty well. So all of that to say that's why we're doing books. And that's why we started a stream. And my husband and I, we also stream. I play Breath of the Wild. I do a Breath of the Wild playthrough. It used to be on Wednesdays, but then like life got crazy, and it's summertime with my kids, so we're not able to stream as often because the kids are always here. And so it's like we don't really have like quiet right now. So we're doing our best. But I did have some more books that I wanted to talk about. And then we'll kind of end. I'll keep this as short and sweet as possible. Well, hopefully still being a little entertaining, which is why we also have the music, so it's not like super weird. Okay, so the next one is a trilogy that I was told to read this trilogy probably back in like October of last year, maybe September. I messaged a friend of mine who was on Bookstagram when I met her, which was before I had my first baby, so like forever ago. And I said, hey, I'm getting back into books. This is what I like to read. Tell me what I should read. And so she went through her bookshelves and was showing me all these books. And this book was on there. And then I was in a group with a bunch of other bookworms. And then two of the women in that group were like, you have to read it. So I was like, okay, I'll read it. So I bought it. So the first book is The Falconer. So this is going to be the Falconer series. It's a trilogy by Elizabeth May. It's incredible. I devoured. So it's The Falconer, and then The Vanishing Throne is book 2, and book 3 is The Fallen Kingdom. All of these follow Aliana, I think. It's so hard. I'm so bad with names. But these all take place in Scotland. And it's, oh my word, like they're just so good. A falconer in this case is a fae hunter. And I'm talking fae, not like cute little fairies with wings that grant wishes and everything like that. No. We're talking fae, as in dark and mysterious and powerful and tricksy and just kind of and so she is a fae hunter trained by a fae, and it's her like journey figuring out who she is, because a falconer was not who she was like trained to be. She was supposed to be a lady, and then her mother was killed in front of her by a fae. And so she decided to hunt them down, and she found this guy that trained her. Anyway, that makes it sound not so cool. I promise you, it's so good. I got so attached to the characters, and I loved it. And there's Gaelic in there, and just so much like richness to the story. It was so good. I really, really enjoyed it, and it just made me feel like I was part of something. It was cool. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so the last 4 that I'm going to talk about are all from the same author, who I just met this year. She is one of the sweetest people I know. I'm sorry, 4. She's written 4 books, and I think she has her 5th one in the works right now. But she's one of the sweetest people, and she wrote a trilogy first. A trilogy first, and then this 4th book. They don't go together. They're just written by the same person. But I read her standalone book first and fell in love with her style of writing. And I fell in love with her as a person. And anyway, I just love her. So I will talk first about The Wolf Queen by Tabitha Kaplinger. And Tabitha is, who the sweetest person like ever on the world. I read this, let's see, I think it came out in January. And so I read it January, February, somewhere in there, and it was just completely blown away. I had no expectations, and when you go into a book with no expectations and no idea who the author is, she was a friend of a friend, and I was like, okay. And so I read it, and so this is about, again, names. I'm gonna say this wrong, and she's gonna laugh at me and message me later and be like, that's not how you say it. But Ilva. She is the Wolf Queen. She has these wolves, one's black, one's white, that follow her around, and she has a gift that enables her to see deep into the hearts of men, which is important because the dragon is rising again, and he's like this kind of dark, not a magician, but he's not a magician. But, you know, he's like the darkness that's just going to penetrate through everything. So she can use her gift to see if anyone's been infected by it, and help ease their pain. And it is just, it's so good. And the catchphrase is, "May the light lead you and the darkness fear you." And just seeing that the first time that you read you read those words, it's like, ooh, and you just get chills and goosebumps. And I was like, I'm going to love this. Like, I am going to love this. And I did. It's very like Viking. It's very Viking vibes, as you can kind of tell. Like, kind of Viking into like Gaelic-ish. But definitely, I got more of a Viking vibe. And then there's a prince, of course, because there's always a prince. But there's a prince, and he is like the prince of the whole kingdom. And she's the queen of her little like tribe. So it's just so good. And then so on here it says the author of the Chronicle of Three series, and I was like, what's the Chronicle of Three? Like, what is that? So I tried looking it up, and I found it on Amazon, but I couldn't find like what it was about or anything like that. So I didn't get it for a long time, because I was like, well, I don't know what it's really about yet. And then Tabitha mentioned that she had some at her house that she would sign and send out for, you know, X amount of whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally want the trilogy. So, oh, see, I have it all backwards because it's from my bookshelf and I have it a specific way. So I have the Chronicle of Three. So look at how skinny. Like, these are really fast reads. Oh my gosh, are they backwards? See, they're backwards there. Okay, hold on. Should be... Actually, I don't know which way. But anyway, it's Bloodline. There we go. Bloodline, Armor, and Eden's Sword. I think I did that backwards. But whatever. First one is Bloodline. I just totally kicked it again. The first one is Bloodline. Then the Armor Bearer. And then the Eden's Sword. There we go. So these are the three. They're so good. I think she said it was Supernatural and Buffy meets Gilmore Girls. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it is. It's so true, though. It's like Supernatural and Buffy meets Gilmore Girls, and is clean. Like, is so clean. That is one thing with Tabitha's books also, is that she's very clean. There's no cursing. There's no sex. There's no... there's like some violence, but it's not gory. That's the word. I was like, what is the word I'm looking for? On a book stream, and I can't even think of words. It's not gory. It's very good. But in those, Zoe has just lost her parents in a really bad car accident, and so she, her aunt takes her in, and what we don't know, what we find out is that Claire, the aunt, and Zoe's entire family are these warriors in a war against demons, and they are the warriors of the Maker. And so they are endowed with these like gifts. But Zoe is the daughter with a capital D. And that means that she has specific abilities that are supposed to end the war completely. Just end it. It's going to be done. And she's the key. And that everyone thought it was going to be Claire. Turned out it wasn't Claire. It's now Zoe. And so it's just this whole thing where her life is just literally turned upside down completely and twisted. And she has to figure out if she even wants to be part of this. If she doesn't, like, what does she owe anybody when her parents are gone and she doesn't know what she wants? And it's just this whole crazy thing. Uh, angels are involved, demons, warriors, sword fighting. Long lost loves, enemies to lovers. Like there's so much. There's so much. Actually, not enemies to lovers. I'm sorry, not enemies to lovers. Forbidden love. That's it. Forbidden love, and it's just it was so good. I read the first one in like a day, and then I thought I packed them when we went on vacation earlier this month, and I didn't. So it was like a huge gap between reading book 1 and 2. But then I read 2, 3 like super quick. They're great reads. Great reads. And I was messaging Tabitha as I was reading them, and I was like, what are you doing to me? I'm feeling all the feels. And so it's really good. I thoroughly enjoyed them. I will be recommending them over and over. I already have to people where I'm like, you need to get the Chronicle of Three. It's so good. So those are the books that I was going to talk about tonight. There were some other questions that were like what's your favorite genre, which I kind of went over. I'm pretty much a fantasy like reader. My bookshelves that I have upstairs that we just got, they're from IKEA, and I love them. They're the Billy bookcases, and it's the corner shelf, so it like kind of rounds a little bit. I love them. But I have 2 shelves, like 2 complete bookcases, not shelves, like bookcases that are all fantasy books. And I have 1 shelf that's like fantasy but takes place in our world, so places that like like Paris, New York, Scotland, and Paris. And then I have the other one is fantasy but takes place in its own world. So none of the books I brought down are that way, because Sanderson has his own shelf on my husband's bookcase. But things like Throne of Glass are over there, and A Court of Thorns and Roses, and Serpent and Dove, and Fable and Namesake, and like things like that. Those are all on that shelf, because they're all fantasy, but they all take place in their own worlds. Children of Blood and Bone, that one's one too, and Song of Wraiths and Ruin, and I have a ton of amazing fantasy novels that I love. I love fantasy. My whole reason for reading is to escape. It's to escape my normal life. I don't need to read normal life. I'm so good. Like, I don't need that. So I prefer fantasy and historical fiction, like I said. So if there's ever a thing where you're like, hey, I like to read this, what should I read? Please feel free to ask. I will do my best to give you what I think you'd like. I've also come into contemporary, like YA novels. Those have been kind of fun. I'm in the middle of I have about 12 to 16 arcs that I'm reading from NetGalley. I'm not reading them all at the same time. That's just what I have on my Kindle that I need to get through in the next month or two. And a couple of them are really anticipated books. But the current physical book that I'm reading, because hi, Crystal! How are you? Hi. How are you? I love my Crystal. Crystal is one of the ones that got me back into Bookstagram. So thanks. Hi! And look, I fixed the unicorn. She's good now. I totally had her cut off. I know, I'm on my last thing, so I'm so excited that you came. I'm so excited. I don't know if you've read this or not, but the current physical book that I'm in is The Girl of Hawthorne and Glass. I know, I'm happy she's whole too. I got the audiobook for apparently the sequel. Apparently I got the sequel. And so I started listening to it, and it's talking about things, and I was like, do I need to know something? So I looked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this book is a sequel. I had no idea. So I quickly ordered this, so it came the next day. So I'm gonna rush through this. Luckily, it's not gonna take that long to finish, because look at this writing. It's not even page to page, and it's big. So this isn't an arc. So the one I have, the audiobook, is an arc, yeah. And I got it from NetGalley, but I had no idea that it was a sequel. I had no clue that it was a sequel. So I have to get through that, and then get through all of my arcs. I just got the Scythe series, the Scythe trilogy or whatever that everybody's been talking about. I just got that one. Oh, hold on. I do have one more thing that isn't super bookish related, but it kind of is. Because I got these today and they make me super happy. And, you know, it still won't, I won't go too much long, I promise. But I got these awesome candles. Wait. Ooh, I have to work on that. So, this is Amalfia. Remember earlier I talked about that this is the name of the last unicorn. So that's why her name is Amalia, because it's like a play off of that. I'm hilarious. And this one, so this one smells like lavender, lilac, vetiver, and salt tears, because she cries a lot when she's human. But anyway, this is they are from Potions and Pyre Light, but Pyre is with a Y. So, you know, like a funeral pyre. Pyre. I can't talk. And then this one is, these are both the last unicorn themed. This is Eternal Spring. Oh, come on, focus. Well, whatever. This is Lilac, Ivory Woods, and Spring Rain. This one does have a little... Oh my gosh, what did she do to my candle? Okay, there we go. This one isn't as good as the other one, in my opinion. This has a little more of like a... I want to say a salting smell. But it's got sparkles. See, it's got sparkles. So these are my first ever bookish candles. Also, because Crystal told me I needed bookish candles, so I wanted to do Serpent and Flame, but Serpent and Flame had a lot of money on shipping, so I went with them because they had free shipping. And then, oh right, and then the sparkles. Sparkles! I love it. I love it so much. And oh, and they're wooden wicks too. It's a wood wick. I think Serpent and Flame is though too. So I like those. I love them. So I was saying earlier, Crystal, that Amalfia is the name of the last unicorn. So Amalia is me, because I'm the second to last unicorn. Because I'm hilarious. Because I'm so funny. And let's see, we went through fantasy and everything else. Crystal is also a former cast member. She worked in Disney World, though. Okay, see, I was pretty sure Serpent and Flame was Woodwick also. Okay, I liked the idea of a lot of their... Oh, see, I got the smell on my fingers. I mean, like, it's. I'm sure it'll be fine once it's, like, in the air. Get your custom... Sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, oh, I did get the customs that I ordered from Elena. Oh, gosh, they're right here. Because I have my gaming, whatever this is called, cart right here. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't show the phone knots. It's hard to see. But I have my... It's going to be hard to see the colors, I think, though. It might look a little washed out. But this is the purple one. Like, I absolutely love it. It's so cute. Let me try the top knot, though, because that might be easier to see. So these are from Fable Bands. I used to be a rep for them. There we go. That's a lot better. There we go. That's so cute. The funny thing is I completely forget about it until I'm like, oh wait, wasn't I supposed to look for something from Crystal in the mail? And that I remember that I'm supposed to be looking for something in the mail. But like, it's got a Tamagotchi. Like, it's got a Tamagotchi on it. And a keyboard. So this is like, because I'm a console gamer, I'm not a PC gamer. But, because I play on the Switch most of the time, and I do use, I think that's supposed to be an Xbox, but, I mean, I play on a Pro Controller a lot, too. And then the other one I got is so cute. It's so dumb, but it's so cute. And it's this Nintendo one. Like, it's got all these little things. So, let's see. The pine tree and the bell bag, like, those are from Animal Crossing. The tent from Animal Crossing. The rupee from Zelda, because I play Breath of the Wild. What else is over here? Oh, and the sword. The sword from Breath of the Wild, too. Whoop, there we go. The ghosts from Pac-Man. Yoshi right there. This little thing is from Yoshi's Island. Like, it's just, there's so many things on here. There's lightning rods. the bombs. Oh, and like right here you got the piranha plant. Where is it? There you go. The piranha plant and the whatever they are, chain chomps. And so I love this. I got it into pink though. I don't know why I got it in pink. They have it in like purple and blue and green and everything, but I got it in pink because I'm crazy. But I got it in pink, so it's cute. I know, I love it. I love it so much. And then I still have the like forbidden pattern. They can't make this one anymore, but I still have this one. Oh, it's all messed up. I think my kids messed with it because it's like a different material, so it's harder to keep like straight. But this one, the level up. Level up, level up, level up. Pink's the best. See, you like pink though. I have never been a pink girl, like ever. Until, I don't know, I guess recently I've been like okay with pink being around. But I'm not really a pink girl. I'm a blue person. Like, I love blue. I mean, like I even bought these headphones for streaming purposes, okay? Because like they have the bling and everything, but watch this, okay? Let's just look at how ridiculous this is going to be. Okay. Stay. Stay. Okay. Like, this is... First of all, look at this. Like, it's so floppy. Like, it won't stay up. The ears don't stay up. These are tiny. I'm pretty sure these are for children, even though it was like, oh, these are for women. I'm like, bull honky. But, I mean, I just... Oh. And so they hurt after a while, and they look kind of funky, but I'm holding on to them in case my kids ever need more. Because that's how I'm rolling. Are we balanced okay and everything, Kitty? I feel like we are, but I want to know if you think that we are, because you're the first one here, so yay. And I'm enjoying the conversation. There we go. Whoop-a-doop-a-doo. But that's all I had planned for the stream right now, but I am happy to just stay in chitty chat. Yeah. I think I remember you posting that, like, I mean, it was a long time ago, so it was before I was even a rep, but I just, like, I remember thinking, oh, that'd be so cute. I know they're adorable, but they're so small. It's like they're compressing my head together, so it's... And look, I even put on makeup and stuff today. Like, look at this. I'm all kinds of on top of it. Even made sure I brought my lipstick down in case I needed it. You clipped me. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you can post links. I feel like you could, but I don't. Oh, shucks, thanks. And this background is making me so happy. It was like $10, but I wanted it a little different because here, I'll show behind the curtain. Oh, there's the other stream background that we do when we do our video games. But I wanted something different for the books, so I invested a little bit. And it was a witchy background. So I was like, hey, Dealey, how are you? Man, I should have started at 8. Maybe that's what I'll do next time, is I'll start at 8. Or I'll just like... Isn't this right? Okay, so are you talking the one that you're singing or the one that's back here? Because, I mean, both. I did both. But I'm curious which one you mean. Or I can just, like, redo the stream because now there's people. And I can talk about it again and then just clip it for YouTube. Because that's usually what I would do. That's usually what I would do anyway. Because I like... That was probably weird. Sorry. I sniff into the microphone. That's not weird. Oh, what you been drawing? What are you drawing now? See, you and Nerdy Kitty, like, you are the two, like, drawers that I always think of when I'm like, I want to do something, but I can't draw. So, it's always the two of you, but Raphael is the one who drew Amalia for me. Whoop-a-doo, so many chords. Ooh, so many chords. Like, hold on, you get to see behind the curtain, no judging. So we have the streaming cart right here. Yeah, that's how I roll. And this is, so this, because we do this that way when Hubster is streaming, and he has it. Yep. She's amazing. Ooh, manga format. How fun. Yeah, the Star Wars Should Have one, and that was like the best thing that happened to me this morning. Because hearing that music, I was just like, oh, I'm back home. I'm back home. It's amazing. So, I'm just good. Oh, good. Yay. Yay. She is curls.into.books is Crystal. Nerdy Kitty. Love, love, love her. I don't even know how I found you, Crystal. I'll be honest. Like, I didn't have headphones on, so I was fine. I had you just on. But I don't even know how I found Crystal. But I found her somehow. I think I just stumbled onto you. And it was like, I felt this instant just, I'm going to say attraction, but just like this immediate connection. That's it. Connection between me and Crystal. And I was like, I don't know if she feels it, but I feel it. And it's just been like, it's been fun. It's been so fun. And she is the reason why I have a lot of the books that I have. A lot of the books are because of her. Aw, it's okay, Raph. It's all good. Probably not Raph. That's weird. Ew. Ugh. Raphaziel. Whatever. It's fine. Dealy. Oh, man. Oh, and you both have huskies. Both of you. You both have huskies. Nerdy Kitty has 2 huskies, Amryn and Kyoshi. And then Raphaziel has a husky named Ranger. You guys would hit it off so well. Just like this. Like, I'm bringing the husky mamas together. Ranger's like 6 months old, so he's a baby. But see, there they are. There it is. Huskies! I met Ranger yesterday, and he's so fluffy. And so when you posted pictures of Kiki, was it yesterday? No, it was Amryn. It was Amryn, right? I think it was Amryn earlier. You posted something, and I was like, I just want to snuggle the puppy. I mean, I know Amryn's not a puppy, but to me, they're all puppies. Yeah. So Ranger's like 6 months old. He came over to my house yesterday, and oh my gosh, he's so cute. Like, I can't even. That's true. Well, I mean, she's Amryn, so she's supposed to be tiny. I actually almost called Jade a fire drake today because we were cleaning her room. Or no, I just happened to look into her room, and she literally had her entire, like, under her bed, there was no space between the floor and the bed. It was just junk. Like, it was just crap everywhere. And I was like, what in the world? So she was very much like a fire drake and a dragon, that she just likes to, put things under her bed and then sleep on top of it. It made me think of Amryn and Smog at the same time. Oh. Ranger is, Ranger's in the teenage phase. He's in the teenage phase, but he's so cute. And, Kyoshi looks a lot like Ranger. Like, they share similar features, probably just because Kyoshi's black and white, and Ranger is, like, black, white, and with a little, like, red. He's so cute. You haven't actually posted a picture of him, I don't think, Miss Raphaziel, by the way. You should post a picture of said puppy boy, because he's stinking cute. I know Kitty has. I know she's posted pictures of Amryn and Kiki, because they're everywhere. Well, she's amazing. I absolutely love her. When I saw that you took her with you on the plane, I was like, oh, I had no idea that she was your service dog until you posted that. And I was like, that makes so much sense that a husky, I think huskies would be amazing service dogs. Obviously they are, because Kiki's so good. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Like, why she works so well with you. Like I could tell from the beginning that there was something really special with Kiyoshi with you, and I just love it. Like I love it, and that's probably weird, but it's true. I love it. I know on your highlight, but you need to like post a picture of him like on your feed. I mean, I know you probably want to be like art and stuff, but I mean, Ranger. Plus, Ranger's also on her Twitch when she streams her art. He's where the chat is. The chat comes up on his collar. It comes up. It's super cute. Yeah, Ranger art. Like I think it's so fascinating. I think it's so fascinating and so cool. And I'm trying to keep my headphones from falling off my head now, because I think they're so cool. I love the idea of service dogs. And if I wasn't like allergic to dogs, it's so annoying. It's a very mild allergy, and I just developed it in the last few years. So like I can be around dogs for a little while, but I couldn't live with one, or cats. It's really sad. We got an allergy test done like, I don't know, 2 years ago, and I was allergic to every kind of grass, every kind of bush, every kind of tree, cats, dogs, dust. And I was like, so I'm allergic to everything that lives. Yes, you need to post pictures. Mallow account, what's that? I don't know what that is. Is this too weird? Maybe this is too weird that I'm looking so far over. Oh, I know you would. I know you would. I love visiting with them, because like our best friends had dogs before they moved away and took them with them. It's fine. And I had cats growing up. They would sleep in my room with me and everything else. I never had a problem. It is the weirdest allergy to develop for me. Where I'm just like, how is it possible to just all of a sudden, oh, JK, you can't be around that kind of animal anymore. It's so annoying. So annoying. Have you read this? Crystal, I don't know if you've read this. Y'allfest. What's Y'allfest? What's that? I don't know what that is. I don't know what Y'allfest is. But you need to read this. I know. I have a feeling I'm about to be yelled at. Your Marshmallow Instagram, duh. I'm so dumb. Of course, duh. Can I just blame hormones and like PMS and all that? I can blame that, right? Because, duh. Your Marshmallow account. I'm so dumb. Duh. It's a book get together? What? What is, huh? Book on. Okay, sorry. What? You need to read this. This is a gender bent Phantom of the Opera retelling, and you will freaking love this. And I think you need to cosplay as Isda. I don't know how to say her name, but it's ISDA. Like you, that white dress you got today that I know is for a Gods and Monsters cosplay. Like, oh yeah, Raphael is also a big book person too. So Raph, you should read Raph. I'm sorry, I know, and there's another person that goes by Raph, and now I feel really bad. So I'm really sorry. No, Raphael, dealing. I think it is on audio. I'm pretty sure it's on audio, but like it's super short. Like it's not very long, and it's really good. Plus, like, look, this is elixir that she extracts. It made me think of Coco, to be honest. Like it gave a very like Coco and Lou kind of put together. And this girl is so good, so good. What is it with? Oh my word, my nose. Oh, like, ah! It's so itchy. See, we just talked about dogs and stuff, and now I'm like, ugh! My nose is all itchy. It's a book get together, so where is it? Yeah. Where, like, I'm assuming I'm gonna have to fly somewhere. I'm assuming I'll have to fly. It'll depend on, like, where. It's in, so Carolina, eh? Shut the front door. Well, I don't want to go to one that no one else is gonna go to. You know, I want to go to the one that everybody else goes to. I don't want to go alone. Oh, I'll bet they're not doing it. I'll bet they're not, because they didn't even do Comic-Con this year. They didn't do Comic-Con. They didn't do E3. so I doubt they'll do Y'all West. That's my guess anyway. I mean, Disneyland is open to everybody like around the world, but they're also only open to a certain percent. So I have a feeling they're not going to do anything else, like just the state of California. They're in like a weird mental state right now. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Charleston, huh? So my husband's uncle used to live in SoCal. Shut the front door. Who's gonna be there? Do we know anybody that's gonna be there? Like, do we know who's gonna be there? Do we know what's happening? Do we know? Do we know? Oh my gosh, I love the idea of BookCon. Oh. Stay. Okay. Oh, they haven't listed it yet? Okay. Oh, what? Oh, snap. Okay, so Shelby, she's talking about Shelby Maharan. I don't know how to say her last name, but she wrote Serpent and Dove, Blood and Honey, and she has Gods and Monsters come out at the end of the month, at the end of July. Oh my gosh, we're in July. Oh my gosh, we're in July. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I talked today on my Instagram stories about indie authors and like debut authors and things like that, and I had so many. Not so many. I'm sorry. For me, like having 3 or 4 is so many to me. Like that's a lot. That's a lot for me. I had so many. I had like 3 new people like follow me that are authors, and then I had a couple of the people that I talked about like message me back and be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. You're so nice." And I wasn't doing it for that, but I was just like, "This is celebrity status." Like I just feel so good when I'm able to like share how much a book has changed me and let the author hear that, you know? Oh my gosh, no, I would be livid too. I would be so livid if like I'm extremely lucky that I live here in Arizona where my friend Kara is an author. She, Kara McDowell, she wrote Just for Clicks and One Way or Another, and she has a new book coming out in March next year that's called Things Could Get Awkward. This Could Get Awkward. I feel really bad of what it's actually called because I can't remember, because she called it Anxious Girl Summer for so long because that was like the working title, you know? So, man, COVID took everything. COVID took everything, and, you know, I feel like we as a country, like as a whole, just have not fully grasped what it took from us. Because it's not just the vacations and like the canceled events and things like that, but like it's taken over 600,000 people. Like that is a lot of people that are gone, and it's still happening. Like it's not over, you know, like it's over a little bit, but it's not over. And sometimes it just hurts to like see that it's not being like appreciated, you know, for like how bad it is. But yeah, canceled plans have been like the worst. And it's terrible. I hate it. I'm glad that we're starting to get back to normal and like starting to kind of get back to a safe place for everybody. But I'm telling you, COVID ruined everything. I mean, we were supposed to do a lot of things. So 2020 was like a big year for us. It was our 10-year wedding anniversary. My daughter turned 8, which is a big birthday. Oh my word. It's a big birthday in our church because she can choose to be baptized if she wanted to, and she did. But there was all of this stuff. We were supposed to do Disneyland for Christmas, and like it was a year after my grandpa had died, and just like all of these things were happening during this. And like it's still hard, but at least all of the adults are now vaccinated, so it's a little bit easier. We can be I'm saying all the adults in my family. All the adults in my family. Not everybody, but all the adults in my family are vaccinated. So it's nice to be able to go and like breathe around it. But anyway, wow, I got distracted by that because I feel very passionately about that apparently. feel very passionately about it. But yeah, no, I will totally look into Y'all Fest. When is it? I mean, I know where. That's in Charleston. My husband's uncle used to live in Charlotte. I know that's North Carolina, but I mean, he lived like right on the border of North and South. So we would go back and forth a lot between North and South. This music is kind of nice, man. Yeah, send me the info, please. Oh no, if it's in November, it can't be when I'm at Disneyland, because, sorry, Disneyland's already paid for and done. But I will so come if it's in another time, another place. Oh, no, Dealey, please. Oh, please, no. See, here's the thing. With stuff like that, I never want people to be like, I feel so guilty for not. And it's like, no. If you have like a medical reason for not doing it, don't do it. You know, I don't want anybody else to die from this, okay? Like, I am so over missing people and losing people. I'm so past it, you know? So, because I don't want anybody else to die from complications from the vaccine, from the disease, from whatever it is. Like, no, I don't want any of that. You know, it's those, those people that I'm talking about. Like the senators that were making fun of that it was a hoax and that there was this whole thing, but then they're the first ones to get the vaccine. What business do they have getting the vaccine? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll get struck down for that. But it's the truth. That's how I feel. Right? Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty about other people, though. You can be annoyed at your own body, but like none of us are gonna do that for you. November 12th and 13th. That's not when I'm gonna be at Disneyland. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about it and look at it and see if I can do that. As I like super weirdly turn. I can't help it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna fix, so like, this hair. Yes! I ordered it and it's on its way to me. I got the shipped notification today. So I am excited. I'm excited to read it. Wait, is that the right way? No, I wanted it this way. What did I do? I just messed things up. Hold on. Access it on Amazon. Oh, weird. Oh, who else is gonna go? Crystal, because I would love to go. That's super weird though that you can't access. Did she send it to you on Amazon? Because Amazon's weird about like sneak peeks and crap. They're super strange about it. Because Kara Swanson sent me Shadow, which comes out on the 13th of July. Like, she sent it to me April, I want to say, as like an e-arc, but the way she sent it was like through Amazon, but not, and so it ended up coming to my phone and not my Kindle. So I only have it on my phone. I don't have it on my Kindle. I can't send it to my Kindle. It is so annoying. It drives me absolutely bonkers. He's so fun. Let's see, about it to the link. Oh, on her Discord. Oh, that is weird. Huh. Holy moly, that is a lot of people. But you know, a lot of you live on that East Coast. So that makes sense. I assume Milena is going to. Oh my gosh, is Allie going to go? And if she is she bringing the baby? Because I will so be there and I will hold that baby so hard. Okay, maybe not hard, but you know. I just... I want to squeeze her so bad. She's so cute. Are you all going? Oh my gosh. That would be so much fun. Wonder if anybody near me... Is anybody near me? I don't think anybody else lives by me. Yeah, I don't think so. There is somebody in my street team Oh, Sheryl's in California. Oh, okay. There is somebody in the street team for Miranda Lynn's Tides in Ruin. She lives in Prescott, which is like, I don't know, 2 hours from me, somewhere around there. But I was like, oh my gosh, there's somebody else from Arizona. That's crazy, because that never happens. That never happens. I don't know if either one of you know Everyday Reading on Instagram. She used to live here. She and I were friends for a little while, but then she moved. And I'm a teeny tiny little account now, and she has blown up, so I don't really talk to her much anymore. But Jansen's really cool, and she goes into like book recommendation. Like her whole thing is reading, obviously everyday reading, and she does like book lists for kids and audiobooks and just all kinds of things. So I really like her. A couple of West Coasters coming. I wonder if Claire's going. I'll bet Claire is. Like, I'll bet she is. See, here's the deal though. If I go, I don't cosplay. I know a lot of people don't. But I would want to do something like super epic with all of us there. But I want to see, like right now, I'll be like, yeah, I want to do something totally crazy and epic. And then when I get there, I'll chicken out. Because that's my MO. I am super adventurous until it's time to be adventurous. And then I'm like, and I freeze. So, but I think it would be super fun if we were able to do like a giant group, like maybe not full blown cosplay, but like a bound almost, like Disney bounding, but book bounding. That might be fun. That could be cool. I mean, there's got to be like woods or something, right? Because in November it's not like gross, right? Like humidity wise. I know that it's humid, but it's not like nasty. Right? Because I don't want to deal with the nasty. Why are you nervous? Okay, so I am both nervous and not to cosplay because like I feel like I could totally, once I was in it, be totally like good. Like I probably couldn't be super over the top, like Disney characters are at the parks. Like I couldn't do that, but I could be pretty decent, but I would have to get in it. Mine is like the step before it, where I'm like, I could probably do it, and then once I'm in it, I'm like, yeah, but like actually doing it, that's where I struggle. Yeah, write it, like do it. I'll read it. I'll read it. Well, Toad's read it. Crystal will read it. Kitty will read it. She totally would. She's good with stuff. She's amazing. I'm sure it's tiring. Listen, every time you post a cosplay, I am just like, that looks so amazing, and I am so tired just looking at it. But I feel like the other thing that I struggle with cosplay is that plus size people are so so loudly discouraged from doing it, and not by other cosplayers. Usually, it's usually the trolls. But sometimes the trolls are really loud, and it's just a little discouraging when you're like brand new, Oh my gosh, you're doing Amren? Oh my gosh. Do you have the ears? Do you have ears? Like, OMG. Because yes. Oh no, yes. Absolutely. Okay, yeah. See, I'm one that like, I'll have the idea to go all out, but I have no talent to make it happen. Like, I can see it in my head. Can I draw it out so that I know what I'm talking about? No. Can I sew it? No. Like, I feel like I'm a very creative person, but I don't have the way to execute a lot of the things. Oh yeah, prep, for sure. You're just waiting. Oh, the wig. Is it like a short, I'm assuming it's a short wig, so you'll have to try to fit your hair in there? Well, why? You know what? I would almost not even do it. Like, it could just be the bob. What if you just didn't? What if you cosplayed as a Puerto Rican Amren? Is that too weird? Maybe that's too weird. I think that would be frickin' bomb. But that's just me. I don't know if that's weird. But like a Latina Amren? I'd love it. I think it would be cool. But yeah, no, the wigs freak me out. They actually make me feel really claustrophobic. Like I panic a little. And I just love having my hair different colors. Although it's so bad right now. Like it's so bad, so bad. Ooh, there you go. Maybe just pin it. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Pin it up there. I don't see why you couldn't. But that's just me. I'm also like, just be lazy. I mean, maybe not lazy, but I'm just like, meh. Like I wanted to be Aurora so bad. So bad. The funny thing is she is my favorite Disney character, but I have never, ever been her. Like Halloween or anything. I've never owned a costume for her or anything. Like nothing with clothing. How weird is that? I had something for Maleficent once. Like a shirt with her on it or something, but the rest of it, I don't. That's so weird. Oh gosh, you're so sweet. Oh my word, fake Ruby. Dude. Oh my gosh. Okay, are you gonna be able to do like her eyes, like in Photoshop? Because her eyes are like the best part. Oh, see, Amryn, you haven't met Amryn yet, Raph. Dang it, and you were here the other day and I didn't give you Mist and Fury. Just in case I just lent Raphael Thorns and Roses. So when she finishes that, because I wanted her to just get into Fairy Smut to see if she likes it first, and then I'll have her finish the rest of it. Although I've already said that Silver Flames gets real raunchy. Yeah. So I just gave her ACOTAR. So after that, I was like, hey. So she hasn't met Amryn yet, but you'll meet her, and that's not spoiling anything. She's just a person. She's a character from Mist and Fury, but so if we could take some of the crap out of Silver Flames, I think that would be like my favorite, probably one of my favorite books. But I loved Mist and Fury so much, like so much deep in my soul. Like I loved in that series, that one is the one that's like, yes. But yeah, Fairy Smut. I'm not talking to you. My watch thinks I was talking to him. Oh! Yeah, you can't even tell, but like I have art from, oh shoot. Ugh. Like that's Nesta. Anyway, I have art that I found on like, it's because I love Reese. He's so good. I loved him in Thorns and Roses too, because I was like, ooh, there's something about this guy. There's something about him, and I don't know what it is, but I like it. And anyway, I love Reese. And Amryn's on Fairy Smut. Yes, oh gosh. Oh, it's so bad. It's so good. So luckily you're going on a boat where you can just read, and maybe, I don't know, read that in a place where no one can bug you. Because hopefully it hooks you. I'm hoping it hooks you. Of the two like main series from Sarah, I enjoyed Throne of Glass a lot more than ACOTAR, but I enjoyed ACOTAR also. So yes. Good. Yeah, see, I think that's what it's like. Throne of Glass is an investment. It's 8 books. But I liked the pace. I felt like the pace was really good, except in Heir of Fire. Yeah, I think it's Heir of Fire, because it just takes like 4 freaking ever. And Tower of Dawn, while I liked Yrene, I was so tired of Chaol. Also, who spells Chaol? 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 Bull honky. Yeah, okay. Seriously. Like, there's so much fan art. No. I love Heir of Fire. I just felt like it was like a little too, like, what's the word? Once they got to like them training really, then it like picked up. I just felt like it took a minute, or maybe I'm thinking of Crown at Midnight. I could be thinking Crown at Midnight. That's also possible. You don't want to. I don't think Sarah's a Utah mama. Maybe she is. Is it really Irene? Is it really? See, I don't listen to the audio, but Crystal does, so she knows how to pronounce things. So, oh, that's so stupid. So dumb. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, Kale. You're talking about Kale. Yeah, Kale. It was so dumb. When, like, Selena, the way she spelled Selena, I was like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, there's just too many letters. Like, there's too many letters, too many vowels, all in weird places. And it's just dumb. It's just dumb. I don't know why fantasy readers feel they need to do that. I was like, you can spell things phonetically and be okay. Like, you don't have to go, okay, I want her name to be Shaniqua. Or, well, actually, that probably is a very nice name. I don't know. See, I can't say things. How about this? We can't have her name be Lily, and then we spell it E-L, let's see, I-L-U-Q, the number 9, I-E. Lily. And hope that the readers know that it's Lily when they listen to the Audible. It's just like, what the crap, man? Oh, I am telling you, authors do weird crap. Sorry, I got something like in my eye, just like flew in there. Whew. There we go. Okay. Whew. Yeah, Kale. He was just like a weird character, but I liked him. I liked him eventually again. Have you done a Nahima? Now that I think about it, Crystal, I wonder if you have, because she's really cool. Names with the tag username. Yeah, but see, I like that, because that's enough different where it's like, oh, you could see like the inspiration behind the name, but it's not like you just took the name. Oh, I guess you did say you just took Raphael and put a Z in there, but like, it's a little different. You need to do a true Nahima. Like, come on, girl. You should also do like an Effie or Tavia from Song Below Water, because you're giving serious mermaid vibes. Just saying. I mean siren vibes. They're not mermaids, but whatever. Siren vibes. That's what I meant. Siren. Oh, I've got something weird. Like, oh, you haven't read Song Below Water? Okay. So the only reason why I have is because, again, I got the audiobook for A Chorus Rises, and I had no idea that it was the sequel to Song Below Water. Like, shut up. Are there mermaids in Gods and Monsters? Because I will literally go insane. I don't think that's spoiling anything. No, I don't think it's spoiling. We already knew that there was a bunch of other like magical communities we've like they've talked about it, but we don't know. I love mermaids. Not as much as I love unicorns, but I love mermaids. Mermaids and unicorns and dragons and fairies. Fairies like pixies and fairies like fae. Both of them are good. Oh my god. There's a track. Oh my god. Guys, I might not make it. I pre-ordered it from Amazon because it was I had to go cheap this time. Like, I had to go cheap for Gods and Monsters. I almost pre-ordered it through her indie store, but it was going to be like $30 with shipping. And I'm going, like, I can't do that when I could get it on Amazon for $15. Oh, and I feel so bad for saying that, but I was like, I just just don't want to spend double the money to get the same book. You know? I knew you would. No, I knew you would. You are obsessed with Shelby's books. Like, I know you are. Blood and Honey was like your thing. You're the reason. Okay, I found you right about when Blood and Honey was coming out, or did come out, like right around there, because you kept posting about Six of Crows and Blood and Honey. Like, that's what I remember distinctly about your stories for at least one of the first times I really watched them. It was you were getting books from people, and you got, I don't know if you got an arc of Blood and Honey, but like you it was something with Blood and Honey, and you were just like, it's the best, and you were so excited, and I was like, Blood and Honey, what the crap is this? And then you showed your shelf and you have like all your Blood and Honey copies, and I was like, holy shiz, this girl's got some things. But I totally, no, I completely understand it. I can't do it. Nature of Witches, yeah, the Nature of Witches is the first book that I purposely purchased 2 of, and that's it. Although Spells Trouble, I ended up picking up a second copy of it because while I was at Walmart, I saw that she had it had a different color cover, and I was like, excuse me, what is this? And it had a bonus scene in it, and I was like, and done, you know. But anyway, oh, that's what it, oh, that's awesome. I know it's not on audio, I know, I think it will be soon, but oh my gosh, I loved it. It is, I think you should, honestly, you need it for your shelf regardless, because I know you've seen the naked cover. I'm sure you've seen it everywhere, but like, you need that for your shelf just based on the cover. Like, oh, you own it. Oh, you did. Good job. Yeah. I got the indie copy too. I got the indie copy, and then I did the embossed and spine version where she painted the edges that matched the cover, like you open the book and there's that cover page. They like match. And so I got that one. I wasn't going to, but then Rachel shared it on her thing, and I was like, well, I could maybe do that, because I've never gotten a book box before, and that was like, it's like a mini box. It wasn't even a good one. I mean, no, it was a good one. I'm just saying it wasn't like one of the big ones. It was, just a little one. It came with the book, some wax melts, some tea, but I don't know how to brew, and a couple bookmarks and stickers. I think was no, the stickers came with the other book. I don't remember what came with it, but I know. Okay, here's the deal. I'm scared to get into book boxes, because if I get into book boxes, I won't have any money left for books. Okay. I already did the embossed and spine. She did a which one? I can't remember. But then so I'm kind of annoyed because she posted the one, I think it's like something with a vengeance, and then later, like I think it was the next day, she said that she was doing 2 that month, and the second one was the Witch Haven, and I was like, I would have done the Witch Haven one if I had known I want that book more than the other book, but I've already ordered the box. But Miranda, who did the Fae Rising series that I'm on her street team for the next one, she's doing a book box for Tides in Ruin too, and I'm just like, because it's for a hardcover book, which I need the hardcover book because I have all the other books in hardcover, so I have to match. I don't have OCD, but I have that like level of perfectionism that I'm just like, it has to be just so. Fairy Loot does sell the best like special edition books that I've ever seen. I just can't afford Fairy Loot. Plus, half the time, I don't know what they're referencing because of my stupid hiatus from books and book buying. I have no idea what half the stuff in the boxes like is from or for, so then I feel kind of dumb. And then I'm like, this is kind of wasted on me because I don't understand it. half the time the books I don't understand. I did get the Owl Crate Vespertine copy. I did get that. And I think that's the most expensive book I've ever purchased so far. Yeah, but it's going to be signed. And like, actually no, it's not going to be painted edges. The Emboss and Spine one is painted edges, but the Vespertine one I'm really excited about. And then Once Upon a Broken Heart also has an Owl Crate. I think there's an Owl Crate, a Fairy Loot. Is there I don't think there's a Fey Crate one yet. But like, you guys know how much I love supporting small businesses and supporting authors and things like that, but sometimes I just can't. Sometimes I just can't do it. And I feel really like I wanted the Illuma crates. I loved those because they always do like these really cool things. Owl Crate is really cool. You know, Fairy Loot because it's just like perfect. But I just feel weird that half the time I don't have any idea what the books are, or what the stuff is in them from the books. Like I don't know what they are, and so I feel like it's wasted on me. Like there was stuff about Caraval, whatever it is. I haven't read those yet. They're on my list to eventually purchase, but I don't have them yet. Okay, I'm working on it. You know, and so the Once Upon a Broken Heart, like I was like, oh, I really want that. It's so pretty. Like it looks gorgeous. It looks good. It sounds great. But just like, yes, I would love if all of them would do that. Would just do the book. Like, hey, we'll do just the book. Maybe a bookmark, like a book and a bookmark. If you have to do that, or like a book and a signed book plate or something. But like, just give us a book. You know? Oh. See, I just haven't read it. I want to, and I want to read the Broken Heart one, but apparently that's taking place in the same world as Caraval and has some of the same characters in it. So I'm like, well, I don't want to get that and not have the other. It's like a cycle that never ends. This is the circle that never ends. I would love to come to Y'allfest. That would be so fun. I'll have to look at it and see if I can afford that. Because that's what I thought. That's what I figure is that I need to read it's Caraval, and then the last one is Festival? Or is it Finale? I don't remember. I have the book, like the boxed book set or whatever on like my Amazon wish list at some point. Finale, okay. Probably Finale or Finale. I don't know. It's probably with some sort of accent that I don't have. I'm just getting into, like, I just got the Falconer series. I just got like Serpent and Dove and Blood and Honey, which I know hasn't actually been out that long, but it feels like it's been out that long since everybody talks about them. I just got the Shadow and Bone and the Six of Crows and King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. Like, that's all done. Legendary, that's it. I was like, there's like it's like a thing. But like Julith loves Caraval. She's always talking about how much she loves it. And I'm just like, I just haven't read it yet. But I will. I just haven't yet. But I did order the special edition of Addie LaRue. Because I loved that book so much. And I actually lent it to Rafa Seal. I lent it to her for her trip. Because I was like, I think you would really like Addie. And I think once she's read it, then she can look at all the art with Luke. And oh, it's going to be good. I loved Addie. I really loved Addie. I still need to read A Darker Shade of Magic. I own them. I just haven't read them. I listened to the first like 8 chapters on Audible and I loved it, so I bought them. And I just like, oh, you still haven't finished Addie? Girl. Dude. Like, that's a first that I've finished a book that you haven't. But I also am bad with audio. But I'm listening to The Bone Witch right now, which I absolutely love. It's very fascinating. I'm really enjoying that. Audiobooks and I don't usually get along very well. But I did I knew you were here. You're good. You know what? That's fair. Nikolai, if they mess him up in Shadow and Bone, I swear to heaven I will lose it, because he is the best thing on the planet. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved Ben Barnes as the Darkling. I think it was great. I just think they wrote it really weird, and I think it was really strange that we found out that what his name was already, and like this whole, like, that was a little strange. But that's just coming from like knowing the books and reading the books first, where I was like, what? Right? I will riot. But I feel like Lee would not do us dirty. But then again, I don't think she thought she did us dirty with the last one either. So I don't know. Oh my word! Right? Soon as we met, Captain Strumhold, Hort, whatever it is. I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't do well with names. I don't do well with names. I really suck at it. But Nikolai, the Demon King. Actually, I don't even know if they call him the Demon King. He's the Bastard King. That's for sure. The Demon King? What is it they say? I don't even remember. But I love Nikolai. I love him so much. And I love Nina. Okay, so back to the cosplay thing, like, you know, plus size people, and then there's only so many, like, plus size characters, like Nina. And even Nina, like, half the time, I don't know, it just feels like she's the only one that's, like, accepted. Yeah, that's it. Sturmhond the privateer. The privateer. But I feel like Nina is almost the only one that's, like, accepted as a plus size cosplay that you're allowed to do. Or, I can't even think right now. Because the only one I see on a normal, like, all the time is Nina. That's the only one I see, and I'm telling you, that was what. Okay, so far, I mean, I haven't gotten very far. Like, you can see, I haven't gotten very far into this, but this character, she, like, she's not a real girl. She's a witch made her out of, like, Hawthorne and glass, I'm guessing. She talks about thorns, but she wears glasses. She has glasses that she uses to see, to both, like, see normally and to see the ghosts that she's supposed to, like, hunt down. And I was like, oh my gosh, an MC with glasses that isn't a nerd? I think the world might be ending. But I'm telling you, because I don't want to say, I don't want this to sound like it's going to sound, so don't take it the way it's going to sound. It's hard to read books or watch movies where someone like me isn't present. And what I mean by that is someone with glasses that is bigger but isn't clumsy, or, you know, the comedic relief, or the shamed one, or the one that's supposed to, like, you're supposed to learn from their mistakes of being alive, you know, like, that's okay. Well, I didn't want it to be like, there's someone that looks like me. No, not white. I'm talking fat and with glasses, because we already know representation is such an issue. And as a white person, I feel like I can't speak to that on the same level as, obviously, a person of color, because I am not one. But I do see it, and I know it, and I try to, you know, I guess bring attention to it. I don't know, bring awareness to that, and, you know, try to educate myself on being better. And that's why I'm trying to, like, break things. Oh yeah, so just, like, I just want a book or a show or a movie that just has people, like, just people, everyday people. There could be a fat person, there could be a person with glasses, there can be a person of color, there can be a queer person, there can be a trans person. I guess queer and trans, but, you know, just people, and it won't matter. Like, it won't be such a big deal, which I know is probably not going to happen, like, in my lifetime, but that's my ultimate, like, dream. But especially with, like, cosplay, because I know that cosplay, it's like, well, you can just take whatever character and make it your own, but it's, like, so difficult to hear that, because someone like me, okay, I have fat cheeks, and I've got a belly, things like that. I am the, like, Mrs. Potts, oh gosh, like looking at my movies now, like Porco Rosso, or No Face from Spirited Away, but when he's fat and you know, crazy, or Yobaba because she's old and has hips, and you know, just like they're Mrs. Claus, you know, like things like that, where it's just like super stereotypical, matronly, or just whatever. And that's, I mean, I'm 32. I'm not old. I mean, I'm old, but I'm 32. I'm not 60. And so it's hard. Yes, we do. Non-romance obsessed for freaking real. Or, okay, in the book Never Say Never, which I lent to Raphael, the book Never Say Never, they specifically talk about soulmates, but non-romantic soulmates. And I was ecstatic. It was amazing. I loved it. I loved it so much. And it just made me feel so good. Oh, there is a book coming out in September called Big Boned by Joe Watson. I think that's it. Hang on, I'm gonna look. Make sure I get the author right. I'm pretty sure it's Joe Watson, like J-O Watson. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. So, Big Bone. Oh, okay, there we go. Big Boned by Joe Watson. This was so good. I loved it so much. I mean, she's plus size. Her brother is autistic. She has, like, she's the only fat person in her school. Like, it's just this whole thing. And she has to deal with the stigma of autism, and the stigma of being fat, and the stigma of being white and pasty. And, like, anyway. And having mental health issues and going to see a therapist. And, like, anyway, it's so good. Oh, excuse me. I loved it. I loved it so much. So I think that there's so much representation that needs to happen. Like, it needs to happen. And I don't know why it's so hard to do that. Or like in Shadow and Bone with the whole stunt double. The whole stunt double thing. Where they painted her brown. Instead of just getting someone that already looks that color. Yes, I love Charlie Vega. Oh my gosh, I loved Charlie Vega. Loved Charlie. Okay, because she was me. I mean, I was the white version of her, but she was me in high school, and I effing loved her. Hi! Hello! Welcome. I loved Charlie. Loved Charlie. It was so good. Oh, she's not a bodacious babe? Sweet. Good. We need more girls with scars. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love a girl with scars that, that's like, you know, stronger than her scars and stuff, but also is like, she's real. Because sometimes, you know, it's, I think that's why I liked Katniss, which I know there's other issues with Hunger Games, but I liked Katniss for the fact that, like, she was broken, and, oh, thank you! Hold on, 2 seconds. Hold on. I loved that she was real. Like, after she went through all her trauma and everything else, like, that was real, trauma response, and I really enjoyed that part. Like, I liked that. Okay, so, thank you, my glasses. These are from zeelool.com, zeelool.com. They're in China, I think. And the frames were like $3. Here, I can't even take them off for a minute. Oh, I can't see anything, but that's okay. The frames are like $3, and then I am super blind, so I have to have like the special lenses. So it was like, I don't know, $40 with shipping, and I love them. I know, I love them so much. Mercy Thompson. What's the Mercy Thompson books? I haven't heard of those. What are those? Oh, I'm so glad you're welcome. You are so welcome. Thanks for popping by. Come on back whenever you want. Yeah, I love gritty females. I even love gritty males that show emotion. I think that's why I liked PETA. Also, is that you could see how broken he was. Sorry, I happened to look over and see Hunger Games. So I was like, oh yeah, because I mean, what? Oh, the werewolves. Right, the werewolves. Listen, I'm keeping Kindle Unlimited because right now I have like a free trial until like September, but I think I'm going to keep it because there's so many books on there that I can just read. Yeah, not this many ones. No, I remember that. Oh yeah, I love Zenny. I used to use Zenny all the time. Zlul just like sent me a coupon code or something in the mail, or in my email, and a friend of mine whose name is also Allie, she actually has these exact ones, and I was like, oh my gosh, those are so cute. And so anyway, I love characters that are real and talk about their trauma and don't like shy away from it and don't shy away from the emotions that come with it. 12? There's 12 books. Holy moly guacamole. Well, that's good to know. that's an investment. You want to talk about an investment? 12 books is an investment. That whole like alien smut that's going around right now, I think it's like ice barbarians or something like that. Alien barbarians, I don't know what it is. I'm not reading that. Like no. Like I have a straight up like no. No. Oh, okay. Anxiety attacks and they work through it. I can't even pretend to try to read that. Like I can't. I can't do it. It's too much. It's too much for me. But if you like working through the anxiety attacks thing, you need to read Kara's book. Kara McDowell's One Way or Another. It's so good. She's like undiagnosed with anxiety stuff. And then she gets diagnosed like by the end of the book, but it's this whole thing that like her best friend is the only one that knows how to help her cope because he's secretly been like asking his therapist sister how to help her, and it's like the sweetest, cutest thing. I love it so much. I read it last December? Last November, December, somewhere in there. It was a winter read. It was so cute. I loved it. Happen after certain events. So I didn't trust the wolves. Love her. Ooh, love it. Ooh, I love action. I love action. What was I just reading? Oh, What Lies Above. I just finished it last night by Caitlin Lambert, and it is very like, because it's a post-apocalyptic world, but it doesn't take place on Earth. It's on another planet, whatever. But it's like very post-apocalyptic for that world too, and the action in that was like, whoa, it was intense, but it was really good. And apparently it's going to be a 3-book series, and I was like, I wish I'd known that when I started. I just like to know how much I need to be involved. How attached can I get to these characters? But I really liked it. Okay, Mercy Thompson. I wonder if it's on Kindle Unlimited. I'll bet it is. Yes, no, you do. No, your D&D characters are extremely relatable. I mean, I don't play D&D, but when you've talked with me about them, they're totally relatable. Excuse me. Or when I watch the stream that you guys do with Fates, they're totally, they are. And you go so in depth with your characters. I absolutely love it. It makes me so happy. Just like how much you love them and how much you care about them and for them and how much they like mean to you. It's awesome. I love that. I think it's fantastic. Okay, listen, you want to get into D&D, you talk to Rafasil. She knows all the good stuff. My husband just got into D&D. He's actually there. Like, that's where he is tonight. He's at his D&D session. And they can only play once a month. Dealey plays twice a week. Twice a week? Is it twice a week? I know for sure. So they stream every Thursday, and then I think you have a home game too. If session quest campaign. It's a campaign. Yeah. See, they're all over Discord, just like you, Miss Nerdy Kitty. They're all over the place. Home game. There you go. Home game and the stream game. And the stream game is every Thursday at 4:30 Arizona time. I think we're Pacific right now, but you know, we don't change times, so I never know which one. Of course. Oh my gosh, yeah. She's so good. When Tetris, my husband, was getting into it, I immediately texted her and his cousin, because his cousin's a DM for her group, and I was like, okay, I need to know what he needs, how much he needs, so I could go shopping and figure things out. But essentially, you really just need dice, probably the book, because he has the book to like get to know what his character is, and then like, yeah, he's loving it. He absolutely loves it. It's like the one thing that's helping with things. And yeah, oh my gosh. And let me tell you, if you get Crystal involved, like, there will be good things happening. Good things. And I feel like you would be the perfect D&D person, Crystal. Like, the perfect D&D person. I don't know if Julian's into it, but I think that it would be so fun for both of you. I have played literally one D&D game in my entire life, and it was with Andrew's cousin, and she was our DM, and we were just doing like just a dumb little game because none of us had played before but her and her husband. And so I don't even remember, I think my character was a elf. I think I was an elf. I don't remember. But I was a girl. I know I was a girl elf, and I was what I call a hacker slasher. Okay? Which means that I just go in willy-nilly and hack and slash. We were just talking about this on Rafa Seal's stream the other day when she was doing some art stuff with her, was it Mikai? Mikai? Pretty sure. So it's a show on Netflix. You can watch Critical Role on Netflix. It's really cool. I haven't watched a lot of it, but my other friend who is also super into D&D, they watch Critical Role every single week, and they do a stream, like an online game with their group, and she absolutely loves it. My friend who is now May Kai. Okay, yes, I did it. Yes. I did it. One of my, I don't want to say she's like a friend because she's way younger than me, but she was really good friends with my youngest brother. She's now Nancy Drew on the CW, Kennedy McMahon, but she's a huge D&D nerd too. And actually I think she was the first one like I really heard about it from as like a legit thing versus like, you know, those like teasing you about it type things. But yeah, oh my word. See, I'm telling you, Dealey's got it all. She's got all of it figured out because she had like little keychains on her keys that are her two characters. Her husband has characters. That's why they named Ranger because he's a ranger. And I love it so much. I think it's great. I think D&D is like, I think it's super cool. I won't get into it super a lot, but I am super supportive, and I think it's a great thing to do. And I will I'll sit through a game. I'll watch Dealey on Fates. I don't watch all of it, but I watch for some of it, and then I'll sit in the room and everything and be like, you can do it, you know, or whatever. I'm a very good cheerleader. I'm a very good supporter. I'll make shirts, you know, whatever. But the one game I played, I was a hacker slasher, and I didn't even get to hack or slash anything. Nothing. Because his other cousin apparently had like a really high diplomacy thing, and we kept rolling that she could be diplomatic. So she kept fixing the problems. I was really annoyed. I didn't get to do anything. And I was really sad. It was sad. It made me. Ooh. Okay, I love the character. I just got the picture. That's super cute. Love it so much. Oh, well, this was super fun, but we're coming up on 2 hours, and I think I need to eat a snack, and I don't want to eat on stream because that would be kind of weird. But thank you for coming and being here. And I will put this up on YouTube because I talked about a lot of books earlier. Like I talked about the Chronicle of Three, which there, and the Wolf Queen, and like Amalia's like origins, if you will, and things. So I'll put that up on YouTube just so that it's easy for everybody to see. But thank you so much for coming. I think I am going to, I don't know how often I'll do this. I don't know. It might just be like random. But I'm hoping to get back into Breath of the Wild soon because I have been dying to play. Thank you! I love talking with people, and I love playing the game. And I love doing this, and I'm hoping I can maybe stream some crafting too. I have to figure out how to do that though, because I'm not like super technologically advanced right now, but I'm working on it. And so yeah, thanks so much for being here. I'm so excited. I love when people come because then I don't feel like I'm talking to the void. And Andrew's not here, so I don't have anybody else to like bounce off of. So thank you. And I will talk to both of you soon, and all of you later. And I hope you have a fantastic Friday and 4th of July weekend. Celebrate responsibly. No fireworks, and be responsible on the roads, y'all. Good night.